Hello everybody, this is Count Cristo and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. So I'm probably going to just not bother uploading the first bit of this stream. We had a bit of non-starter because I had to take a phone call. Basically all we did, figured out a little bit about how these, this is for those who, not watching on stream. Sorry, you guys just deal with it for a second while I explain to those over on YouTube. We had a look at how these mobile processing labs work. And now what we're going to try and do is put one in orbit of Kerbin to gather up some science and provide us, hopefully, with enough new technologies that it'll be relatively doable to put one of these babies on the moon. Okay, so far, we've got, to get all this money for this orbital station, we're doing a contract at the same time. We need to get an antenna, a docking port. Right, don't forget about the docking port. We are going to need to slap one of those on here somewhere. Where are they? Coupling, right. Clampatron docking port. What do they look like? Oh God, they're kind of not the most aerodynamic of things, are they? Alright, we'll just randomly stick a docking port on it, because we're not actually going to dock anything with it. That's just to fulfill this. Research lab on the station. Yep, check. Wait, it's mobile processing lab. That is a research lab, right? I hope so. 2 pilots, right, and it has to support 8 Kerbins. This thing supports 3. There's 2. There's 2. There's 2. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. By my maths, it's more than 8. I think that all looks right then. Now all we have to do is put enough sciencey stuff on here that we can actually get it. Hey Cody. We need to put enough sciencey stuff on here that we can actually get this thing really doing stuff in orbit. So we got some of these things. Let's stick all of them in here for the sake of aerodynamic profile. What would you call it? The aerodynamic. You see what I mean? The the profile of it relative to its direction of movement if it's going straight up, and you want that to be as kind of flat as possible to minimise drag. I hope that makes sense. Got power generation. We could do with some more power, just to be safe anyway. Let's whack the normal kind of whole bunch of these things in here. We're getting crazy cash for this mission, so let's just go ham. There we go. Whole bunch of batteries. Okay, anything else we should put in here? Honestly, we don't need MechJeb on the way down, so let's include that in this stage. Put it down there. Okay. Let's put this into actual orbit. We're going to take a lot of force because this is not a light payload we have here. This is 15 tons. It's quite the thing. We've put ladders on it, so you can walk down from the command module down into here, because everything below this stack separator right here, this Rockomax brand decoupler, is not coming with us. Oh, didn't notice the stream was starting. Don't worry, I've only been up for 3 minutes, Gandalf. You haven't missed much. Okay. All looking good. I mean, we could put the docking port in here, but that just feels too gamey to me. Okay. Yeah, I think this is all we need. This is the payload we're going to put into space, in orbit, do all our science. Then we're going to jettison this part and send this part home. Interesting point. How are we going to send this part home? By the way, you should play Way of the Dragon from the CK2 soundtrack at some point. When we run out, you should re-recommend that. Right, RCS thrusters on this thing. Something that saved our behinds in a previous mission. So I'm going to put some RCS thrusters just like that. It's not too bad for aerodynamic stuff. They jut out a little bit, but mostly they're hidden behind this kind of lip here. So I hope that would helps a little bit. Obviously, some air will kind of get back in and then cause problems, but that seems okay to me. We could, of course, whack a whole kind of a great big airstream thing like this. There we go. And kind of do this to make the whole thing hugely more aerodynamic. Like that. Looks kind of wacky, but Maybe we should do that. I mean, how heavy is this? It's quite heavy because the fairing is so large. Let's try redoing the fairing. So, yeah, build the fairing. We want to make it as small as possible because the smaller it is, the lighter it is. No, just out a bit. Like that. Like that. Place it, though. Place it. I think it's because it's clipping through something. There we go. Yeah, we want to bend it in as soon as possible to reduce its size and therefore mass. Can't place it there. Okay. Let's go. Probably that darn docking port's getting in the way. Ah, it's quite fiddly, this. Let's go. Alright, let's just go straight up like that for now then. It's not. Place it, thank you. Okay, now in a bit. In a bit more. No. Alright, up. Now in. There, it's beautiful. Problem is, it is heavy. What is that? Can I see its weight by right-clicking? No? How can I see the weight of this particular object? Apart from just taking it off. Well, it goes 16, pretty much. It's 1.6 tons. It does make the whole thing a lot more aerodynamic, though, doesn't it? Let's do this. Let's put one of these things on. They're quite fun, apart from anything else. Okay. What else do we need on here? I bet the RCS thrusters work even when they're inside an airstream fairing. Because this is the payload that we need to put in orbit of Kerbin. And it's going to take some doing. So is this the space station or the space station core? I don't quite follow the difference. This is the whole space station, but it's going to be a very temporary space station. We're just trying to get... It's a smash and grab space station. We're just going to grab some science and then bring it down again. I guess by the core you mean something that you could add parts to, but I have no intention of adding parts. This is going to go up, do science, come down. I have no problem with fast forwarding time crazy amounts in order to make that happen. A docking ports on the side supposed to be for other ships or for extra modules. Neither. They're to accomplish this arbitrary contract requirement. I'm not complaining that it's arbitrary. That's kind of the whole point. But it's purely to satisfy the requirement so that we can fund this science operation, basically. I'm purely using the contract as a source of funding. We have 150,000 to play with before we start making a loss on this science experiment, is basically how I'm looking at it. And in exchange, we have to take, so mmany extra things to hold people. You're just going to Skylab it then? Yes. Yes. Now... Do we need a separator here? No. We shouldn't. Shouldn't need a stack separator here. We can just go straight into fuel. And it's going to take some fuel to put this thing into orbit. We should start with the RCS because we'll want that all the way to the end. Not one of those. Although actually if we put it in here... No, let's just take a big fuel tank. Where's the... No. I guess it must be this one then. Yeah. So we're taking a Christ ton of RCS fuel. Maybe we should make some better use of that by also having some RCS thruster blocks down here. They should be in line. Yeah. Okay. Just because we're going to have so much RCS fuel here. Hey, darling, so long since you got a stream. Just came back from the Army Youth. Cool, honey. Remind me, you're Norwegian, right? Do you have... Did I hear that Norway had compulsory Army Youth stuff? Or is that voluntary? What do you mean by Army Youth? Is that like cadets? If you know what the cadets are. Either way, how was it? You have fun? We got a mech jeb, yes. We don't need place anywhere ports. Got the right crew. Okay, so let's work on putting this baby into orbit. It's like the Hitler Youth. I don't quite believe that. Trust me, I'm not Norwegian. I think 2 on here. And this is basically the put me in orbit thing. We're going to want a mainsail. This is the put me in orbit stage. And And then below... Well, no, that doesn't make sense how we're putting an orbit stage. We should just have... Coming straight off this, we should have the radial decouplers. And have them with four other engines blasting away. Giving this thing the lift-off power it needs. And then the fuel remaining after that point to put it into orbit. We're going to try and gravity turn really well on this one to make it more doable. See, this is getting super expensive, especially with these mainsails. That's why it was absolutely necessary that we do all this with a contract funding it, because putting something this large into orbit is crazy expensive, as you can see. Okay, looking good. Duplicate from here. Am I missing anything? Well, we might as well put more struts in. Norwegian, yes, we have compulsory Argo service. The army youth is voluntary. It's like British cadets. Just a Norwegian army youth doesn't suck. So what do you do that's kind of different from army? Do you get to do like skiing stuff? That'd be awesome. Doing like army skiing training would probably be pretty cool. I'm a relatively big skier. It's a great time. But yeah, army youth stuff, it's not really for me. I'm not exactly a team player when it comes to physical activity, sports, and that kind of thing. It tells a lot about me that my favourite physical sporting activity is bouldering, which you can do on your own with headphones in, very loud volume, not listening to anything. But yeah, you're having fun then. I'm pretty sure those side boosters aren't aligned north. You may have a problem when detaching them. Oh, that's a good point. Thank you. So north is like there, isn't it? So you want them like this. This. And then we duplicate it, and we throw some more on. We do ski training. Awesome. And next week, British cadets will come to Norway to train on skiing and showing off their horrible skills, actually. Awesome. Hey, Russian Vice, how you doing? To beat you to it, back to the front, the final frontier. We're going to stick some struts on here. And struts on here, just to hold this whole thing together. I'm not being very precise at the top because they matter a lot less. It's down near the bottom that they really want to be. Better. Put on. Though even there I didn't really do it very well. These are at different heights. Yeah, it's not what I intended. This should go down like that. There we go. Okay. Final frontier? Guess I'll die. What? External fuel ducts. It's very expensive. Hopefully we'll get a new record about, like, I don't know, longest time in space or something that'll give us a bit of extra cash. Alright, this one feeds this one. No. We want to dump these ones first. Yes. This one feeds this one. And then this one feeds the central one. Staging. They fire, they fire. This fires. We jettison. No, we jettison these ones first. Then we jettison the side ones. The fairing I almost always do manually. You see, Britain doesn't really have geography. So when they try and march around here, they don't understand what the snow or hills and actual trees are. It's true, we don't have quite as dramatic geography as you do over there. This is very true. We once had this whole empire we could practice because we owned all the geography, but then, you know, went and lost it. So get that, drop the sides, drop those. What's this one? Drop everything for the re-entry. Yeah. Final parachute there. Okay. It's not very complicated. Thrust to surface weight ratio is not great. We have a lot of fuel in this thing. Let's give it a try. This is the ISS Mark Cristo. You think the tip should have struts? That's right. That was a tip that you gave me last time that I have yet to apply. Haha, tip. Attach struts from the tips of the nose cones to the main body. Thank you. I will. Immediately revert flight. Revert to vehicle assembly. Okay. We have a problem. This thing I don't think can just gather science. You have to go and get the science and then put it in here. Which means someone has to be able to get in range of everything in here. So let's put some of these on here. And then we're going to have some problems, it looks like. What is this song? Right, to let you get all the way down there. And we're also going to need some here. Although maybe not, because you can probably transfer... We don't need to get into this one. We can probably transfer from here straight into this one and then out here, but let's try it this way. Okay, we are going to do a test. Right, struts. Problem is, do they attach the main body through the fairing? I mean, it doesn't look like that's a problem. Okay, we'll just go straight through the fairing. Cool. Don't question it. What kind of angle do you reckon we're looking at for these, ideally? That's... I wonder if you can walk through struts. It doesn't look great, does it? Cristo doesn't know any of the good army songs, apparently. No offense taken. Spoilers, still have to watch part 4. You can never catch up to my streams. Fair enough, they do come. They come fast sometimes. It's a bit of a wobble. I should probably give it launch stabilizers, shouldn't I? Alright, stop celebrating, Maya. All you're doing is EVA. Or hatch are extracted. Right. Just dump the fairing. And then EVA. So if you get in here, gonna watch some part 4. Enjoy it, banana. So if you get in there, and then we run a materials bay, you can send it straight to the lab. I was wrong. Excellent. What else was I going to test? That's right. Weather. Oh, but I don't need to, because you don't need to be able to walk all the way down there. Okay, cool. Road figure, sorry. Okay, do I need anything else? Right. Launch stability assists. I'm not really sure there's any downside to these, really. I mean, they're quite cheap, and it's not like they're adding weight, so... Sure, as long as you stage them right. Okay, am I missing anything big? I don't think so. Put this in orbit. Do a bunch of science. Get at least 100 science out of it. Let's do this thing. Love this song. This is one of the main songs in CKT plays all the time. Very good, very good. Yes, just gonna make a slight change before launch. Bob can't EVA. Reaction wheel, maybe. We've got RCS. There's very powerful reaction wheels in the command module with the bigger command module. I think we'll be okay. I want the scientists to begin in the mobile processing lab. No, you're a pilot. Oh, I almost forgot. We have to bring 2 pilots. That would have been a real annoyance. Yeah, have 2 pilots on the station. Maintain stability for 10 seconds. Orbit. Has a docking port. Can generate power. Has an antenna. Check. All good. Oh, so this medieval stuff, you know. Well, it's because I played CK2 for like 1,000 hours. I checked the breakdown on my Steam profile, by the way. Like, breakdown of all the time you've played on that Steam tracker site. And it had CK2, HOI4, and EU4 make up like 70% of all the video game playtime I have. Alright. Oh, that's excellent. Okay, so it can already tell us that it's got ticks for everything except orbiting Kerbin. That's very helpful. Thank you. We don't need... I might as well leave it over there. More data on screen, why not? In the spirit of Eve. SAS on. Launch. I mean, the acceleration's not fast, but we've got a lot of fuel. I didn't put any... Let's try... That's not the way I'm telling it to go. Excuse me? What's going on? Why would you tip that way? We're going to revert this, by the way, but why is it tipping in the wrong direction? Oh, I think I know what I've done. You rotated the command module. Yeah. The door should face south. South is straight out the door? No, straight out the door is east. E. And Shift E. Oh god, I don't know which is right now. I think straight out the door. Let's try straight out the door. There's a very undefined door. It's that bit. It's that just there. It isn't very clearly marked. No, you're right. Well, that seems to work, so... Right, let's try that. Alright. To orbit the Earth, let's do this thing. Does that muck up our staging on which one of these we lose first? No. No, those are the right ones. Okay. Well, if I tilt this way... it's entirely wrong. I shall show my disgust with how wrong that is in the only way I know how. Sorry, guys. So you have to point down. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. I'd much rather just get it back to normal. Which way should it face? I can check by spawning a new one. Oh, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but that particular realization I am quite proud of. There we go. About like that. Yeah. Let's try that. Might muck up with the directions on which way we're going to be dumping our boosters. They're not actually boosters, but our secondary engines. When you drive your turn, just go right to the red line like usual. Yeah, but I like... I'd rather keep it all simpler for myself, to be honest. Okay, launch off. If I was to try and go this way... It's right! It's a few degrees off. It's close enough now, I think. It's not exact science. Yeah, so on, so on. I like how you can see, as you're burning off fuel, your vessel mass decreases. That's cool. If you stage view it, it just shows you the current stage. Okay, if I was going to show you the multiple stages, that'd be good. But that's still useful to have in numbers. Rotate a little with Q and E and it should be fine. Yeah, we've got some serious acceleration on this thing. Let's try a bit of harder tilt. We've got to be careful though, because it doesn't have fins. So aerodynamic control is tough. I know it's commentary's not that engaging right now, because I'm fighting it. Oh, I didn't dump them quickly enough, and that was yeah. Well, also enable RCS. Yeah, let's do that now. I wouldn't call it a roaring success. I mean, it's not the best way that we could have gone. That thing's still going, huh? Right. Vertical assembly. Never don't put fins on things. Just don't ever not put fins on things. Also, let's adjust these so they're orientated right. It should be there. Same height. The height was fine. And there should be two of them. You really would recommend a reaction wheel. I don't know if we have the... Well, we do have loads of power capacity, actually. So I could try one. Like that. And then there. They don't seem lined up at all. This one should face like right out the door. So about there. It really doesn't seem to want to line up. It might be close enough though. We'll look at putting a reaction wheel in it. I'm guessing the reaction wheel should be at the center of mass. It'll be a bit of a pain. Try and put it at the center of mass. Not really sure what center of thrust means. What does the aerodynamic overlay do? Nothing. That's interesting. A reaction wheel can be anywhere. Ah, I see. Just use 4 times symmetry to fix it. Then I'd have to redo all of my fuel things, though. Yeah. All right, let's put a reaction wheel on it. We only have small. We have an advanced night stabilizer. It's also too small. We can kind of glitch it in here. Yeah, go on. It's funky new integration technology. Why don't you do an NC extreme? I will. I'm a bit tired today, so I'm just doing what I felt like playing, which is... Oh, that's where it puts in the aerodynamic overlay thing. Once you actually have control wheels, it shows you what the average point at which control services apply. I'm not sure. How has life been lately, Cristo? How are you? It's been busy, but fun. But it got updated. I will play NC at some point. It's been fun. I spent the weekend visiting my girlfriend, which was very nice. He said he felt like KSP. Yes, exactly. Had a day of travelling and then working when I got back and stuff, so I'd rather just relax with some Kerbal Space Program. Don't forget to turn on RCS. Full thrust. Launch. Yes. Those fins are at a very strange angle. Basically how NASA got Apollo 13, we'll just glitch it in there. Yeah, pretty much. So I'm going to go straight up until we lose these first ones. To avoid explosions. We need more powerful ejectors, or it's probably that the ejection point has to be at the center of mass of the thing you're ejecting, such that it doesn't twist. Like, you know, the top goes this way, the bottom goes this way, and hits it. The thing is, with us going straight up, we're making faster acceleration, and therefore we're going to have more air resistance. But as long as it doesn't get to like 800, I think it's okay. If I would put the ejectors as low as possible, wouldn't that jerk it out here, and then this bit spins in and hits? Lose them. Oh, that's why. Because we're ejecting the side ones first. We should be ejecting the end ones first. That's the problem. Now I'm going to tilt much harder than I normally would, because we're... Ooh, RCS, hold. I'm tilting much harder than I normally would to try and force this this gravity turn to happen. There we go. I'll try and pull it to here. It wouldn't jerk with enough struts. When I say jerk, I mean once you eject them. At which point it would break all the struts. Right? Okay, and we've learned that you don't want to go to periapsis when getting to your orbit. You basically just want to follow your prograde all the way down. E4 main theme. Now you desire E4. E4 is a great game, isn't it? Really looking forward to the new mission system. Curb with the E4 music. That's nice. This is actually a big compilation of all the different Paradox titles, musics. All the best of old Andreas. Not old Andreas. What kind of multiplayer will it be tomorrow? I'm not sure. I haven't decided. I'll look into it tomorrow afternoon. I have work I have to focus on tomorrow morning. I just want to relax and do this for now. We're about to lose our next stage. It should be okay, but we're still moving up. I think it'll be okay. Yes, good. Yeah, we're going to have more than enough fuel, looks like. Deploy. You feel like the Royal Britannia immersion pack is a bit lacking. It doesn't add much. I don't know, the new mission system is pretty huge. Although it's true, that's a free feature, isn't it? But it's important to remember that essentially the immersion packs and stuff fund all the free features. Is it just me, or does this tune never play in U4? Do you have the Guns, Drums and Steel DLC? Because the Guns, Drums and Steel... Wait, wasn't I supposed to bring something into... No. The Guns, Drums and Steel thing seems to give itself priority. Yeah, Guns, Drums and Steel overshadows it. Yeah, so we had slightly too much fuel. We could have had just one fuel tank on this final stage. Would have made it a bit cheaper, but oh god, I didn't realise I put the epiapsis at freaking 1 AU. Not 1 AU. 1 million meters. Megameter or whatever it's called. So what should I do to extend this now? I guess just go over here. And then real quick bump it out a bit over here. We've got so much extra fuel we can afford to lower it. You do? Ah. Yeah, it's Guns, Guns and Steel thing. This plays for me all the time. I only just got the Guns, Guns and Steel DLC. The higher the semi-major axis, the faster you can warp. How does that translate to the higher up you are, the faster you can warp? Because that's the way it works, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure we're saying the same thing, but... Twist me around, RCS. Give me a bit of thrust to make this like 80. You wish it wouldn't. Yeah. I guess it's so you can basically choose between like a rocky EU4 or a normal EU4. You can always disable individual tracks in the song player thing. What's it called? The music player or something? Basically your average height. Okay, okay. Number between AFO and Perry. Right. Okay, so we're in orbit. If we hold this for 10 seconds, we'll get this contract completed. There we go. Nice. Contract completed. We've got some cash, which means we should be not quite back up to what we started with. Got some science already. Okay, extend the antenna. Show me the power. These might not be enough. Especially if we're not facing it head on. Let's spin her around a bit. And face the sun. To get the most of our solar panels covered. I could have put all the solar panels on one side now I think about it actually. And then just made sure I was facing the sun with my RCS. Don't you guys have work in the morning? I do. But it's only 10 now. Don't need to go to bed yet. Would you... Oh, I've got RCS on there. RCS, sorry. Oh, God. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Go that way a bit. Just end on the sun. And then SES Lee. Okay. Cristo, can you use your influencer paradox? Almost certainly not. To add more naval stuff for an invasion pact called Damned Rule Britannia. There is pretty cool naval stuff being added. Like the new naval doctrine stuff seems cool. It's only 10 now. Just one more turn. I can sleep once the Ottomans are dead. Yeah, all those typical quotes. Right, so let's do what we actually came here to do. Some science, baby. Where are you? You look like you're not down here. Yeah, you're up here. What are you doing? I thought I put my scientists down here. Valentina? Oh, that's right. We have 2 up here and 2 down here. Good. I was very concerned. Brought the wrong people then. Alright, observe the mystery. Excuse me? Excuse me? Don't thrust. See, that's 95 science. From some mystery goo. Low pressure data. 110 from that. Material study. I'm looking forward to this number. 235. Very nice. And, yeah, clean experiments. That does use quite a bit of power. Where's the thermometer at? Stop. I swear I put a thermometer on here. Where's it gone? Did I not put a thermometer on here? That's rather dumb of me, if so. Might be hiding under here. Does anyone remember? What on earth is going on? When are you gonna play Hearts of Iron 4? Today or some other day? Some other day. Tomorrow. We're gonna do a multiplayer tomorrow. You glitched it in. Is it just behind there then? I can't see it. Is there some way I could make it show up in my maybe it's behind MechJeb? Twist the ship to face the sun like a flashlight. What do you mean to face the sun like a flashlight? You mean so this bit points at it? Why? I've got my solar panels end on to the sun right now. Oh, right, yeah, start research. We are actually using more power than we're generating right now. That's unfortunate. What time are you going to play Hoi for tomorrow then? Probably... let me think about tomorrow. Probably about 7, my time. Which, for context, is in 21 hours. Just twist it so you can see the other side. No, I think I can see it. I think I remember putting it kind of right here. But that's okay. We can live without the thermometer readings. Do another EVA. 7 p.m. in 21 hours from now. Get EVA report. Keep it. Store experiments. Board. Review data. Stick it in the lab. And you can't repeat things, I believe. Yeah, there's no repeating at all on that stuff. So just reset. Any other experiments I can do? You're 1 hour ahead. That's no problem, because it's 21 hours from now. In all time zones. It's 21 hours from right now. So turn on warp if we get into a new environment. And let's see. Yeah. If you can put these back in. No. How about if it was in space, not high over? But rather just over. And now when we're on the far side of the sun, look at that power drain. It tanks. In space near. Okay, Mr. Goo. Yes. Okay, now we're just near. We can put it all straight back in. And gets even more science. There we go. Experiment, medium, moves, operate. That's fine. And... thermometer, pressure data. Stick that in. And a crew report, please. Put that in. And an EVA, if you'd be so good. Grab an EVA report, please, Valentina. Restore data, stick that in. Okay, now it's generating 2.2 science per day. Oh yeah, clean experiments. It's already gathered 0.1 science. Wow. Now the fact that it doesn't have enough power to survive when it's in the shadow, or in fact any time. So now that just means what? It's going to shut down or generate less science per day. It looks like it is just holding. Oh, okay. Turn off SAS. Turn off RCS. Maybe now it's going to generate enough power. So basically, what we do now is this. Pin that up there. Zoom out to map level. And just spin. No, we need to raise our periapters so we don't get limited on our warps, though. Oh, you can't pin it on the warp screen. Already up to 1 science. Nice. So essentially, we need to turn on RCS again. Give me a little retrograde action, please. Okay. Put it in a slightly higher orbit. There we go. Actually, we have so much fuel. We could probably do a Mun encounter. Let's quick save. I don't want to have to redo this. Let's go for a Mun encounter and gather some more science. We could even do a Minmus encounter as well. We go back here. Maneuver. Go out there. And Mun encounter, please. No, excuse me. Mun encounter. Maybe here. Are we on a weird plane? No. Raid and pillage with your lava. La la la. Christmas music, nice. Yeah, I love the CK2. Was it originally? I think it was originally made for CK2. Don't quote me on that. There we go. There's our Mun encounter. How long a burn is that? 16 seconds, no problem. We can hold way more data, this thing, so. Let's go get this mon encounter. Grab some more science. Seems good. And then we'll just come straight back to a stable Kerbin orbit, and then we'll really crank up the speed. If I feel like we have enough fuel, we might go for a Minmus one as well. Be a bit risky though. Isn't that from CK2 or EU4 or CK2? I remember from one of those games. I think it's from both. Ricky said, "Oh god, I've just been spinning in the wrong freaking direction." You distracted me, Ricky. Hey Chris, I didn't want to spoil it for myself because you prefer to watch on YouTube. So I won't be saying, but dropping by to say hi and good content. Thank you very much, Zicky. That's very nice of you. I'm glad you've been enjoying it. CK2 came out earlier, so you put your bet on that. Yeah, but, you know, there's stuff on CK2 that came out this year. So, well, not this year. Last year. What's the song name? Songs of Yuletide, is that right? That sounds right. I can't believe it took me so freaking long to align to this blooming encounter. I keep distracted. Pretty sure it's only in CK2. Is it? Is the Yuletide song different in Cristo? I swear. Oh, that's why it's ballsing up. I've got it set to the blooming retrograde. Sorry, prograde marker. U4 has it too. I thought so. It's from both. Right. Okay. Okay. Now, let's warp to this encounter. Let's do it the safe way, not the dumb way. Like this. 16-second burn on the marker. Should be very doable. How much fuel? I wish I had a time till depleted on fuel thing. And I could do the maths, but I'd rather just... told me. I could probably get that from MitJeb, couldn't I? Utilities, maneuver planner. Wonder if I could get that. Just align very slightly. Okay. The Causeless Belly song. That's a good one. We have Causeless Belly. Causeless Belly. I can't sing, so I won't. Okay. Let's do a bit early. It's fine. Go get that moon encounter. And... cut it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Kill the encounter. Warp me over there. Is that Byzantine Empire music? I'm not sure. Let me check for you. 42 minutes in. This is the Legacy of Rome from Crusader Kings 2. Yes. Well, it's not specifically Byzantine Empire music. It was added in by the DLC pack that was associated with that. Yeah, can we set that? Any material study, new stuff up here? No. I'm thinking maybe there's new EVA stuff up here. Let's try this. No, just stick in there. Use data. No, there isn't. Good. To kind of trash that then. Alright, let's get us into that mun encounter. How long is our mun encounter? It's like 20 minutes or so. That's fine. Okay, no, stop time. Yeah, we got a whole hour in this mun encounter, so no hurry at all. Alright, hit me up with a mystery goo, materials study. Stick them in the lab. All great data. Pressure. Put that in there. Give me a crew report, please. Put that in the lab. Give me an EVA, please, Valentina. EVA, keep experiment. Pull back in. And stick it into the lab. Awesome. 4 science a day now. Lots better. We are slightly low on fuel. So let's begin that trip home. We're going to get out of our mun encounter. We're going to walk to Perry. Close enough. Yes, close enough. It's from your local club scene. So I can warp to 10,000 times just to check. Yes. Good lord, that's fast. Warp me back to Perry, please. Do they do it? Science while you're warping at speed? Yes, good. Might as well clean. Kerbal net access. What does that do? Ooh. What the hell is this? Engineer's mistake. What the hell is this thing? I have no idea. We'll worry about that later. Mouse walk is super slow in some cases, believe it or not. I bet it is sometimes. Alright, we're going to retrograde me, please. You can map planets. Cool. But you already have a map, which like tells you all the interesting things about them, doesn't it? Like where your people are, anyway. Alright, give me a little bit of that retrograde action. Okay. There we go. Okay, and now we wait, essentially. Turn off SES, turn off RCS. Not going to waste any fuel. Electric charge is draining. And now we whack up the speed. Essentially. That looks interesting. It colours the planets in the real world and on the UI. So you can plan flight to a certain biome. That sounds interesting. This is very bad for your eyes. I don't advise looking too closely at this monstrosity. But if we view it from this perspective, that's not much better, is it? If I look straight down, it's not so bad. But there we go. Look at that science. I told you it was nuts. Just focus on Kerbin, please. Oh yeah, good idea. Like a spinning top. Somewhat interesting, yeah. All right, that's got to be. We need focus on. Focus. Excuse me. How do you reset focus? Oh, there we go. No. How do you refocus? Wee! Can you repeat the science lab thing if you launch a second rocket? No. At least I don't think so, because you can only use the same. Unlike in the. Press tab. Nope, that's next object. Ah, there. If we go through enough things, though, it runs out of options. And puts us on the right thing. Okay. That's one way to do it. Wee. That's the best comment I think I've seen in chat so far. Anyway, you unlike normal science where you get diminishing returns, with putting it into a lab, you get one shot at it. No easy way to focus than tab. It's pretty finicky. I feel like delete should do it or something. Reset it, I don't know. Good thing we aren't having glug 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 tonight with all that spinning. Speak for yourselves. Alright, so transmit science. Transmitting data. Oh, that's going to take a while. I wonder if we run out of power before it finishes completing, whether it corrupts the data or something. Because we are going to run out of power before we complete, definitely. Hopefully it transmits partial. Aborting transmission. Nope. Looks like it just fails if you don't have enough science to transmit it. Well, let's wait until we're in the favorable position. There we go. And have max power. Why is our power going down? Why is power going down? Ah, stop research. Let the power go back up. Now, transmit science. If we can't transmit partial, that's going to be annoying. We're going to waste like half our data. But it looks like that's what's going to happen. Well, we've got 500 science out of it. Not bad. Champagne. I'm not drinking champagne. The drink tonight is very, very typical. I'm on rum and coke today. He just glugged, my god. Well, that's very unfortunate. Not least because it means the entire mission is a failure. All 200 days of it. Because I can't transmit the science from this, ever. Which means my only option would be somehow try and re-enter with this, which we cannot do, because our only stack separator is here. So, revert to vehicle assembly. And the game crashed. Well, that's one way to revert to vehicle assembly, I guess. We saved before we launched, so it's not too bad. We'll have to redo our gathering science, which is inconvenient, but well. Interstellar-like music. Yeah, this is also Stellaris. Well, that's inconvenient. Not too bad, though. Won't take as long to do it again. We know we have extra fuel, so we can commit to getting that moon encounter as soon as we can. Soviet Kerbals. I don't think they look that Soviet. That's a good shot. I like that. You can tell it was from like an earlier build or something, because these parts do not exist in game. There is no part that looks like that. Start game. That's an awesome shot. It is awesome, isn't it? Soviet rockets. You can't see the thing. That's a new image. Maybe it's upcoming parts. Kerbin. What did I say? I think I said Kerbals haven't invented that yet, which is correct, isn't it? Alright, open up. No. Is it really put it at the bottom? No. Who says we need power to orbit? Unfortunately, phallic with losses. There it is. The ISS Cristo. The update is about historical missions. Oh, those look kind of historical, that rocket. Alright, so we need just an absolute Christ ton of extra solar panels, is what I took away from that particular experience. So, let's not half-arse it. Essentially, we can't, it seems, store enough power. So we will just dramatically overgenerate power. If we're going to make like a 1,500 science, I don't feel at all bad about the extra expenditure. There we go. Awesome. Just add more batteries. Well, we already had 16 batteries. And I could add just yet more, I guess. Actually, if they're inside the aerostream, we don't even need to bother with putting them inside the... I can just do this. There we go. That actually only adds a tiny bit of cost. And so, there you go. Power's the issue. Brute force solved the solution. Deluxe winglets. And switch which way around these are. And don't forget to also switch which way around. Oh, not what I meant to do. The pipes are. The ducts, I should say. This one. This one. Fires off these ones. Then fires off these ones. Yes. I think those batteries are rubbish. You want the rings. Yeah, but the rings cost substantially more than double. To give only twice as much stuff. I'm not sure why you'd want to use those, basically. Because they're not rubbish. They're just half as good. And the rings are like almost 4 times as expensive. But I think they might actually be 4 times as expensive. Obviously not aerodynamic, but we have a aerostream, so. Okay, there's probably science we should... This is not the correct set of Kerbins. They look way cooler. You're not wrong. But I'm not that fussed. Kerbin, yourself down here. And you and Valentini are coming along for the ride. It's good, Valentini's going to get some experience. We could actually bring Bill, just to give him some experience. I mean, yeah, why not? Do you weigh stuff, Bill? Bill appears to weigh nothing, so sure. Bill, you're coming along for the ride. Yeah, I'll take cheaper over looking cooler. Most of the time. Okay. SAS. RCS. Do some observations. Stick them straight in the processing lab. Give me that fuel indicator. Give me a stage view. Launch. Alright, and can I actually view the... I think this is the only way I can actually click on the... I need to... Hello, excuse me. I'd really like to click on the real processing lab so I can have it clean up these experiments. But I don't think I can do that before the Airstream deploys. That's okay. British and not fussed. You can probably find his place by himself. Who? Oh, Bill. Yeah, he's just along for the ride. He's cool. If I stopped accelerating right now, I should be able to EVA. Because the Airstream container would mean there would be no you know, wind blasting past. Wow, that moved quickly. Okay, ready to dump the excess things very shortly. And now. Good. Dropping them straight down. Get that tilt on. The thermometer. Just found some Polish Lithuanian guy on Wikipedia who's been described as the pioneer of rocketry, although he died in 1857. Was the article written by a Polish or Lithuanian calling him the pioneer of rocketry? By any chance? Science. And yeah, actually, apart from the 1657, not 1857. Sorry, did I say 1857? I did hear you. Just misspoke. We're going to put these up here. Because there's no reason to put them anywhere less accessible. So we might as well put them somewhere we can see. Because it's all contained inside the fairing. So. Looks like we just didn't put a thermometer on it. Okay. Thermometer. Yep. All seems good. Close it up. Anything else? What did I say we need to change? The thermometer. All looking good. Let's go. Denmark can into Sweden. Well, they certainly could. Alright. SS. RCS. Everyone ready. Stage view. Launch. Oh, yeah, I needed to try and somehow be able to click. There we go. Pin that processing lab. Nice. And yeah, start research. Grab me these straight away. Stick them straight in there. Clean experiments. Straight off the gate. Straight out the gate. Excuse me. Actually, should put that. Let's put it down here because this is going to expand down as we want to take a look at our more plant reserves as well. God, that cleaning out of the Science Junior is slow. Soviet can into the USA through nuke. Clearly not. Clearly they didn't want to anyway. So a super awesome book on artillery was written in Amsterdam, translated into French, and English and Dutch, and then Polish in 1963 for some weird reason. That is weird. Oh god, delayed me. We talk of Soviet nukes. We didn't drop these. Flying low still. As soon as we get to flying a bit higher, we'll yeah, there we go. Flying high. Grab some more data. Clean experiments again. Should have gravity turned a lot earlier. I'm going to do a really hard gravity turn now. Cleaned it much quicker this time. Interesting. Can I reach the This is very finicky. It's kind of fun though. It feels like you're actually, you know, struggling against the take of a rocket. I'm trying to find my my freaking pressure gauge to do that as well. Ah! Yeah, let's just do this right. So what we're going to do is we're going to put... There's actually a rocket based on nukes. Cool. I'm going to put these down here where they can easily be clicked on. They'll make it slightly less aerodynamic, but I think it'll help. Okay, save. Launch it up. What do you mean by 1991? What was 1991? Okay, before we take off, we're going to pin the relevant modules so we can do a bunch of studies as we take off. So this one, no, this one, for example, pin that. Put them all over here. Nothing goes over here, as far as I remember. The temperature, pin that, and the open. Can't. Can I clip inside it? There we go. Interesting, the whole clipping as a medium for actually being able to click on something. Alright, here we go. No. Bit up, there we go. This. Okay. Pin that. Anything else? I think that's all we need. SAS, RCS, full throttle launch. Grab all that in there. Click experiment straight away. Log temperature. Log pressure. Click experiments. Oh, it's doing it. Okay, and then as soon as we're no longer flying low, we'll launch a bunch more. Who would win, the strongest country on the planet or some weird 4-digit number? The fall of the Soviet Union. Ah, right. I really should know that, shouldn't I? Super artillery in the book provided standard designs for creating rockets, such as multi-stage rockets with delta ring stabilizers. It was used for the next few centuries. Oh, that's cool. Still flying low. Get ready to drop the first stage. Almost there. Might as well start research. And drop them. Still flying low. Give me that tilt. Hard tilt. I don't know what kulak is. True? I have no idea. Flying high. Okay, launch them, launch them, launch them. Log, log. Stick it all in the lab. Clean experiments. Oh, gulag. I don't know what a gulag is. Alright, up here. Might as well just keep slowing it down. Okay, flying high over cones. Water, log, log, log. No? Those ones not counting, apparently. Fair enough. Water and shore is too similar, I guess. I don't know if I'm supposed to still be burning, really. I think Gannon said just basically gravity turn all the way to the atmosphere, but we'll see, I guess. I'm just trying to slowly drag my prograde down. And I need to go faster down here. Once we're out, dump this because it's just extra weight. Oh no, wait. Space is... Yeah, space is 70, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so materials study, log, log, reset, review. And put it all in. Put that in. Clean experiments again. It's the final stage that really has the fuel that gets us going. Okay. Right, I should have been doing crew reports all the way up. Oh well. Can I EVA right now? I'm accelerating. Probably not a good idea. Damn Stellaris official soundtrack. Yeah, so good. Kulaks are high-income farmers. Below them were Serenaks and Bedniaks. Cool. Ah, yeah, I did have this explained to me the other day. I think I did know that. Back from my school days. Right, cut it. Give me an EVA report, please. Good job, Valentina. Board up. Stick it in there. We're in space near. Now get me a in space high over. Thank you. Observe, log, observe. Put all that in. Give me that EVA. Good old Val, the co-pilot. EVA report. Review. Put that in. Clean experiments. Marvelous. Already up to 310 data. Fantastic. He got bed right. What's up, my offes? I do not know what that means. Which immediately makes me uncomfortable. Warp here. We could go straight for the Mun encounter without ever establishing orbit over Kerbin. That seems good. That's probably too close. Too far even. Too far around. Oh no, Mun encounter. We had to burn for 17 seconds last time. We want the smallest Mun encounter possible. That's a 29-second burn. It's unideal. Let's try a bit higher up. It's a much easier encounter. And it brings us back down on a nice periapsis as well. Beautiful. 32-second burn. We have the fuel. Let's get it done. Let's just check if these are new over different areas. No. Your opinions on the Rohingya crisis in Myanmar? I don't have any particularly sophisticated opinions because I'm not very well informed. But, I mean, it sounds bad. But that's pretty much the extent. Offias are an offensive term for a white person used by black people. Fantastic. You're still studying, right? I mean, you mentioned work earlier, I guess part-time. When I said work, talking about yesterday, that's actually mostly university work. But yes, I work part-time for Paradox. I am a community ambassador. I don't technically work for Paradox. I'm not an employee, but I work with Paradox to help with their understanding their community and that kind of thing, which is a good time, I must admit. Okay, let's get this maneuver right. Get the Mun encounter done. Grab a bunch more data. Ambassador, is that what you call it now? What do you mean, is that what I call it now? You accusing me of being some kind of spy? Went from count to ambassador. Liar? What are you talking about? Getting some influence. I would say my influence was very limited. Although I am able to give advice and feedback and all that kind of good stuff. So if you have anything you desperately want Paradox to know, tell me. Is anyone here Hungarian? Someone replies no. You can't possibly know if anyone here is Hungarian. The question is only really applied to you if you are Hungarian. Okay, quite low on fuel, but we're almost there. There's my Mun encounter. Beautiful. Walk me to that, please. Cannot auto-warp so far. Maybe it's because I still have the maneuver active. Yeah. Okay, walk me to my Mun encounter, please. Glorious. Okay. Temperature, pressure, goo, materials bay. Look at all that data. Crew report. Valentina, you know the drill. Get out there and get me an EVA report. Review stored data. Put it in. Fantastic. Okay, 479 data. Tell Paradox I ate the last biscuit. Tell Paradox to sponsor me. Thanks very much. Can you share your playlist? I don't even have to share a playlist. This is one video. There you go. Turn off SES. Turn off SES. Do we need anything else? We have a fair amount of fuel left. I don't really want to risk. Where's the mystery goo? Alright, clean experiments. I don't really want to risk going into a lower... My pleasure. I don't really want to risk going into a lower orbit over the moon. Because of our fuel concerns. But we could probably do it, couldn't we? Yeah, let's do it. Well, let's add a maneuver and just see how much it would take. To go into a low orbit, we'd need... like a periapsis of... like, what, 20k or something? That would require a 1 minute 30. Yeah, never mind. We don't have the fuel for a lower orbit burn. So let's just warp to here. Now, excuse me? No, stop. I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? No, yeah. Let's go back to periapsis. Just do it. Do what? Oy vey, there's still 1.5 hours. At this rate, we'll never get suggestions on. Warp. Alright, what was your suggestion? You wanted... Path of the Dragon, CK2. I'll put it on now. Path of the Dragon, CK2 soundtrack. I need to do some reading into the legalities around using in-game soundtracks for streams. I want to check. Oh man, I remember this from playing. I could also just ask Paradox, couldn't I, actually? I could just ask my boss, like, hey, do you mind me using your games when streaming others of your games? So, I mean, this isn't others of their games. Or just streaming other games. I have to imagine they'd say no. But they might not want to set precedents and stuff. I'm not saying I'd ask for special treatment, obviously. I just mean, in general, I don't know what their policy is on that. So can I warp to 100,000 times right now? No. Okay, so we need to raise our parry, so slightly. Tell me you're promoting Paradox music. I don't think they'd accept that necessarily. I should just ask, really. I also want to look into the legality of it generally. Paradox's soundtracks are fine. Are they all... I know it would be fine if I was doing a Paradox game, because then it would be... Well... Paradox, someone touch a must baguette. You're hilarious. A true comedian. I know they don't run them through Content ID on YouTube. I know, but I'm curious as to how soundtracks generally work. Because obviously with some soundtracks you don't... what I'm thinking is there a situation where you could get Content ID'd if you weren't... Or not be Content ID'd, because it'd be very difficult to run. But would you technically be in breach of some rule if you were streaming a different game using the soundtrack of a game when you wouldn't get in trouble had you just been playing the actual game you are using its soundtrack? So you mean it's a non-Paradox game? Yeah. Yeah. Because they have no problem with you streaming their game, but do they have a problem with somebody streaming a different game using content from their game to kind of augment the experience? Being as cool as they are, I have to imagine they wouldn't, but I feel like I should check. Alright, so now it's you know, epilepsy time. Because we do this. Fun fact, 2 days ago was the anniversary of the Three Bears film. I actually do not know what the Three Bears film is. And the thing is, however cool they are, I'm sure someone in the legal department might have a different opinion on the basis of, like, you know, protecting copyright and that kind of things. Alright, so this is how much crazy science we can build. Oh, having orbited the Mun and stuff, we can probably level these people up. Alright, level up crew. There we go. Nice. Valentina's leveled up. Bill's leveled up. Bob's level 1. Maya's level 1. Bob's already level 1, but cool. So that means we should be generating science faster. Yes, nice. Now we're up to 500. Moment of truth. Full electric charge. Near enough. Extend the antenna. Let's try transmit science. It still might freaking fail. I'm going to lose my bananas. Ah, though we are facing like dead away from the sun. Warning, out of power, aborting transmission. Alright, so just give me full power. Okay, now stop research. Warp me to the moment you exit Kerbin's shadow, which is about there. As with all copyright, it's dependent on the rights holder caring. Yes. Although rights holders can retroactively care. They don't need to care. I don't think there's any kind of... I don't know if England has any form of statute of limitations, so they could essentially care much later and still have grounds to complain. Play Alpha Centauri from Stellaris and tell me it isn't the start of Suicide Mission from the Collective Base. I'm extraordinarily familiar with that particular track, so I will consider myself an authority if I do decide to tell you that. Alpha. I also think the Suicide Mission soundtrack sounds a lot like Stellaris. It sounds a hell of a lot like a particular Doctor Who theme. Oh, this one? I don't think this one's much like Suicide Mission. Exactly the same. I don't know about that. I don't know about that at all. Alright, we're in perfect position. SAS and RCS are off. Transmit science. Just wait. Okay, I'll wait. It's an absolute tune anyway. Yes! We're generating enough power that we can transmit the data. Yes! Nice. Start research again. And speed up. And this is how much crazy science you can get out of these labs. It's going to be a long trip. They're going to be up here probably at least 2 years. But hey, these 5, they've got a mission. They're going to see it through. We're going to have more science than we know what to do with. Okay, there's all our science. What convenient timing. Stop research. Transmit science. Hopefully it goes through again. Why is it at 2%? There we go. Nice. It worked. Start research. Speed it up. Beautiful. And as you can see, you get diminishing returns. Those high notes are the same with the exact same ones. It's the rest is original. These ones. No, they're not the same. They're kind of similar, but not that similar. For comparison, and transmit science. Looks like we can hold it even when continuing to research now. Although actually research doesn't matter because you're already full on science, so you can't do it. They sound similar. They're kind of similar. So this is an area where I think the copyright stuff becomes very questionable, and I'm curious to know how it works. Unless you're filthy lies. So like Mass Effect 2 soundtrack. Could I theoretically get copyright struck for this? And I feel like the answer might well be yes. And I'd like to look into this. And then stop, you know, if I might. This is the point where it starts getting a bit ridiculous in the length of time we're going to have to keep this mission going. Because we're only getting 1.5 science a day now. Darn you, brain. God, the Suicide Mission soundtrack's so good. Gotta love Mass Effect 2. Has its flaws, but you'd be smarter if it wasn't for your brain. Definitely false. Alright, there's another 500 science. If we can put one of these things on the moon. And chance of science. Doesn't succeed, even though I put it in max warp. It's interesting. I see some kind of warp about time, speeding up time in that way. Diminishing returns are coming to the point where I think we should probably stop. The nostalgia from Mass Effect is getting to you. Yeah. Was I the only one not, like, outraged by Andromeda? It wasn't very good. It wasn't horrendous. There were definite moments that evoked Mass Effect 1 when you're walking around on the station and people had their problems around and it felt big and kind of connected and things. That was nice. The kind of open world grind stuff was like, yeah, I mean, that's pointless. It was crap in Dragon Age Inquisition. It was silly in Inquisition. It was silly in Andromeda. But some of it was cool. Oh, the story was garbage. The story was like the main thrust of the storyline was really bad. You remember when you were playing Dragon Age Inquisition and got to the Skyhold point when the menu theme played and they remember the songs were the same, the dawn is near. Yeah. Alloy's never played Mass Effect. I don't know about your tastes beyond pretty much Hoy, Alloy, so I don't know if you'd like it. The story of Mass Effect 2 was just recruitment. Yeah, but it was you were fighting the Collectors that were a kind of a threat that made, I mean, I know they were like a tacked on threat, which is kind of weird, but they made some sense. Like they were a serious threat to Earth and stuff. Whereas in Mass Effect, when it was in Andromeda, you just kind of, you stumble into a fight on the other side of the galaxy, and the backstory of the fight is so indescribably insignificant by comparison to the Reaper's plot. By the way, Adaway, spoiler alert, if you ever want to play Mass Effect. But the whole, you know, the Reaper's storyline in Mass Effect, in the original trilogy, you can find out huge amounts of backstory dating back tens of thousands and possibly millions of years. Whereas with the Andromeda storyline, it's very shallow, I thought. You have the Awakening Service Operation to fetch the broken collector ship, you enter Dalek Reaper and destroy the base, and boom, it's the whole game. But my point is that the story itself, the idea of, okay, you have to recruit a team and orchestrate this crazy mission to go where no one's gone before and destroy this threat. And the threat itself is part of a larger threat, and that larger threat is really fleshed out. And then the people you're recruiting, if they have fleshed out stories, whereas Andromeda just seems like kind of magical MacGuffin. Follow the weird lines. You don't know, it just kind of passed you by. Well, you could pick up Mass Effect 1 through 3 for like probably £8 in a collection on Amazon, and they're worth playing. I don't know how you like heavy RPG elements, but you need to forgive Mass Effect 1. It's kind of clanky combat, and it has much better RPG elements than the other ones. I wonder if I still know. I used to be able to quote and just, you know, cycle out like all the speeches in all the Mass Effect games. I was so hell into that. All right, let's do our final transmit, and let's land this baby. I'm gonna quick save so I don't want to have to wait through this hugely long thing. So let's check this out. No, not that one. Yeah, we have 2,400 science waiting for us. That's how crazy this thing is. Okay, so quick save. Right. Give me a little burn to apo, please. I think the thing that prevents you not getting it is now not money but time. Yeah, sure. When you're 16 is the reverse. Sure. Atmosphere Mass Effect 1 was just great. I know. Music in the background. Yeah, Mass Effect 1 is much more kind of more hardcore-y sci-fi stuff. Buy games, promise you'll play them someday. Yeah. Mass Effect 1's a good game that you don't need to binge, I think. All the Mass Effects, really. But you might want to not do the kind of Mass Effect 1 runs that I do. Where I, like, 100% it. I think it's like 3 times I've done a Mass Effect 1 run where I've got literally all the experience you can physically get in one playthrough. There are some that are gated because you have to be either Renegade or Paragon in some scenarios, but you can do a bunch of the Renegade missions if you're just Renegade enough. But yeah, it's good times. Good times. Excuse me, sorry. You bought the whole GTA series. Yeah, I've never been a fan of GTA. It just strikes me as boring. I'm just not that interested in any of the gangster storyline stuff. Doesn't interest me. And the kind of going around wrecking stuff thing. It's just kind of... I think I did beat 5 in the end. But mostly just because I bought it and I felt like I should. I bought it in a sale. Alright, we've transmitted the final data. There's 1 science left in here. Oh, I was about to eject. Leaving these 2 poor bastards in there. All hatches obstructed, can't exit. I'm real mad. I think that means... I'm so upset. Transfer crew. It let me! Thank the Lord. Alright. We did manage to get them out. That's so lucky, because there's no way they could have transferred from here to here, because there's a heat shield in the way. Oh, man. Luck next time, boy. Yeah, we got them out. Hell yeah. And we did still complete the mission on this one, didn't we? Take a step separator in a suborbital trajectory. Failed. We didn't have one. What are you talking about? Okay. We've got the right thing. Got all the crew in the right place. 1 there. 1 there. 1 there. 2 there. Yeah. Okay, so say goodbye to this section of the rocket. It served us well. It's on a suborbital trajectory, so it'll burn up sometime after us. Well, I mean, hopefully we won't burn up. We still have the RCS if this throws off our trajectory. We should be aligned retrograde. Periapsis is 38,000. Close enough. Let's do this thing. If you could walk me down here, please. Did you kill Solus in any of your playthroughs, or could you not bring yourself to do it? I could not bring myself to do it. Although I played through Mass Effect 3 and 2 a lot less than I played through Mass Effect 1. I think I played through Mass Effect 1 like 6 times. I reckon I played through Mass Effect 3... Sorry, Mass Effect 2 4 times. And Mass Effect 3 probably 3 times. I did get Thane killed on my first Mass Effect 2 run. Because my first run through all 3 games I did with 0 walkthroughs and stuff. And it was like, oh, you need someone to infiltrate this pipe. And so I sent Thane, because he's like, you know, an infiltrator, assassin dude. But yeah, that killed him. Sadly. There we go, back into the atmosphere. Still got all 4 of them with us. I think we should be okay. Can't really hear the roaring anymore, which just takes a bit out of it. You played it a couple of times, but I never did Renegade. I think I took some Renegade choices, but I never went Anterionic broken by aero forces. That's fine. But I never did a full Renegade run either. In 6 campaigns of Mass Effect 1. And 4 of them were 100% runs. But yeah, still didn't do it. What's this? This is a Tali soundtrack. What else could we run? Oh yeah, Fonts. This is great. You're pretty much obligated to Renegade interrupt Kyle Lang for those badass points. Yes, that's true. Okay, I think there goes the rest of the rocket. What's this? What's the white line? Oh, that's this. Yeah. Where is it? Is that over there somewhere? I don't think it's close enough for us to see it. There it is. Past it goes. I'd be very surprised if that doesn't blow up soon. Leaving Earth, Mass Effect 3. Yeah, it's beautiful. Mass Effect 2 had the best soundtrack, I think. One of the awesome things about Mass Effect 3 that I don't think, like, this might seem kind of silly. I think, honestly, one of the best things about Mass Effect 3 was some of its trailers were spectacular. Like, truly spectacular. And stuck with me as an experience of the game in general. Alright, we don't have mech jeb, so I don't have my... I can't see the apoapsis dropping, but you know it is. We might not get down on this round, but that's fine. We're going at the right angle. The blater is probably going to hold. I still have the RCS, so if I wanted, I could try and boost this way. Recent play Saints Row. Never played any of those. Same guy that voiced Anderson. Yeah. Anderson's a good character. I think the reason I didn't play Mass Effect 2 is that Halo scratched that sci-fi itch for you. Fair enough. I played Halo 2 a fair amount at my friend's house. I've never had it though. Like, I've never owned a Halo game. Looks like we're not going to get down this round. Not that that matters. Go up and back down a bit. Halo 3 is a masterpiece. Wait, which is the one that ends with the Warthog run? That was the one I played. Is that Halo 3? The one where you could get skulls. You could collect skulls or something. They made it more difficult? Or they unlocked difficulty options? I honestly, I don't think I played it since I was like 10. It didn't seem to have much of a story by comparison to Mass Effect. Mass Effect is very story heavy. I think Halo's more carried by its plot, right? No, sorry, more carried by its actual gameplay. I know there is a story, but why can't I walk more than 4? There we go. The only thing you know about Halo is that there are Spartans, Master Chief, and a Cortana. Yeah, I think you played Halo 3. Cool. That had skulls, right. All goes as planned. They're different genres. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to pitch the Halo's story being less as a bad thing. It's not an RPG. Yeah. No, it's fine. Different games. FPS first and foremost. Yeah. I'm basically not interested in something that's an FPS first and foremost. The only one I've really enjoyed has been Pub. Have you played Witcher 1 or 2? I played Witcher 2, and then I just tried to play Witcher 1 and stopped. It was just too janky and old. Which is, you know, not a particularly good reason to not like something, but I am as God made me. I just didn't like it. It was weird. Also, I hear in Witcher 1, you collect... I know I'm just rambling, not about Kerbal, by the way. It's because there's not a huge amount going on entertaining. I hope I'm not annoying the YouTube crowd, just chatting to chat, but hey, it's the nature of VODs. But, yeah, Witcher 1, you collect, like, lewd playing cards of people you have sex with. That's so weird. And I'm... Ooh, never done a temperature scan here, Freddie. And I'm by no means, like, approved when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, Mass Effect 1's has not quite full nudity sex scenes. Like, it's not, like, hardcore porn. But, I mean, if you were ranking it and it was humans involved, it would be hardcore... it'd be softcore porn. And I've no problem with that. But they're just collecting sex cards. It's just weird. Those weird sex cards are used in that Witcher castle in Poland. What do you mean they're used? Excuse me, parachute. If you don't deploy, I'm going to be real mad. At 1,000? That's too late, man. That's too late. You should deploy it like now. There we go. I was very concerned there for a second. Excuse me. Going down a little fast. Hello? Yeah, that's a problem. And then it freaking crashes. I've got no problems with softcore porn. Cristo 2018. Well, I don't have any problems with softcore porn. Like, I mean, clip it. Go for it. Alright, let me try and summarize. Thank you, Enough. Well, I'm very annoyed that it's crashed, but what can I do? I'll restart it and try again. It's possible that mech gerbal science now are causing it, but when I say I don't have a problem with softcore porn, I mean, like, I don't have any moral judgment against it. But, like, I don't really have a moral judgment about collecting sex cards in The Witcher. But it's just weird. I don't understand either the appeal or the motivation to put it in. It's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, so I was reading the new Twitch terms of service today, which say you're not allowed to like promote discrimination or hatred and all that kinds of stuff. But in the list of things you're not allowed to, let me get them up. Twitch. There's a ridiculously comprehensive list of things you're not allowed to do regarding various things, and they're all quite sensible, with one exception, I think. Okay, so you can't. Right, this is classed as hateful content. You cannot any content that promotes, encourages, or facilitates, and the keyword for that one is facilitates to me. Discrimination, denigration, objectification, harassment, or violence based on race, ethnicity, national origin, religion, sex, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, disability, medical condition, should say medical conditions, presumably, physical characteristics, see they got the S on that one, right, or veteran status. Veteran status, interesting one to add in. Any hateful conduct is considered a zero tolerance violation, right, so almost all of that seems entirely fine to me, right? You're not allowed to facilitate objectification. Doesn't that just mean having a human being on screen? Or not even a human being. Just like an attractive person. Or like thing, even. Facilitating objectification. It also says objectification based on race, ethnicity. Like, I don't know who objectifies someone based on their religion, but like, I want to have a chat to that person. They sound interesting. So I think this is going to blow up, this ship. And I think I can't reset anymore. So I think we just lost these people. Oh no, we still have the RCS. Maybe we can use the RCS to slow down. The RCS is so weak. We'll see. But yeah, I don't understand. Sounds like your average terms and conditions garble. Objectification is not usually one of the categories. And they don't define any of these terms, which bugs me. Because being weird, I quite like very specific technical documents. Does this mean that streamers will be liable for their chat? Facilitating. Well, it sounds like it. It's obviously just a cover-all thing, right? I mean, they don't mean what's in these terms and conditions. It's just so that if they decide to enforce them, they can say, look, we put it in the terms and conditions. But yeah, you're facilitating. If you had a chat which suddenly went all racist, for example, you'd be facilitating the racism by not ending the stream. But yeah, facilitating objectification. That would mean you could not have anything on screen. If you were to take that to its literal, logical conclusion, that would mean you could not have anyone on screen with who might then be objectified by the audience. And that's absurd. How much the streams have to do to control their viewers? I saw his production is freaking dead. You're not wrong. I think he's going to PDXCon. So I might get to meet him. That'd be fun. Have I said I'm going to PDXCon yet? I'm not certainly going, but I'm hopefully going. So that should be awesome. Looking forward to that. I get to meet Lambert. Poor me. So Addo, you stopped playing The Witcher after a while. Which one? And why? Right, yeah, give me a crew report, temperature scan. Slow down time. How much do streamers have to control their viewers? I don't get it. Aren't all Paradox employees conscripted to BDXCon? No. I don't want to talk about specific arrangements I'm making because I don't know to what extent they're considered private until it's all finalized and stuff. But hopefully I should be going. But no, Paradox employees, at least as far as I know, Paradox employees are not conscripted to go to PDXCon. So what's the button to do? Oh, I can turn on lights. I want to fire the ones going down. There we go. See if I can slow it down a little bit with RCS. If I let go of RCS and I engage RCS, it seems functionally identical. Oh no, I can get it slightly slower with RCS. Okay, so when we get close to the ground, I'll try some RCSing. I could also try and EVA them all and bounce them maybe. The thing about The Witcher is it's too linear with the story. It's very linear. I don't think that's necessarily a problem. You have a problem with RPGs, you play about 8 hours and lose interest. Fair enough. I'm very much not the same. Same for us because some other reasons are too high level. Yeah, I enjoy flouting that in RPGs a lot of the time. With difficulty. Because I'm the kind of person that likes to set my RPGs to relatively difficult settings and stuff. That's why you like Skyrim more than Witcher. You can literally be anyone with the right mods. You can't literally be anyone. Like, you're still very limited, but there's a lot of freedom to it, yeah. Now, I mean, I think they're just going to blow up on impact, because I think 9 meters per second is the limit. Yeah, I mean, we lost the scientists. I don't think there's anything I can do. I can't revert. Group one. Jebediah. To this is perfect timing, by the way, because this tune going in the background, if you don't know, is Mass Effect 3 and End Once and For All. Grab a surface sample. And then it falls to you, Jebediah. Plant a flag. Here lies Maya and the other scientist. Dearly missed. Costly to replace. May you rest here in landed at Kerbin's deserts in peace. Thanks for the 2.4K science suckers. Alright. Perfect. Get back in. You played an RPG called Saboteur all the way through. Cool. I don't think I've heard of Saboteur. Alright, let's recover. Well, 2 down. It's not great though. Also, with the extended cut, Mass Effect 3 ending, it's not that bad at all. Okay. 2,430 science. Parts. Crew. 3 crew members recovered. I like how it doesn't have, like, you know, the other ones with X's through or something. Okay, well, gonna need some more scientists. I was growing fond of Maya, but here, Ernie, you're hired, and Nina, she's pretty stupid. 2000 science raises pinky finger to mouth. Sir Wise, spelt C-E-R. I like to think in my head canon he misspelt Sir, S-I-R. So he's Sir Wise. Yes. Okay, cool. 2 new scientists have been brought on board. Don't tell them about the previous ones. Let's spend some of that juicy science to make ourselves feel better about our fallen comrades. First off, photovoltaic panels. Yes, please. Precision engineering. The bigger radio antenna would be nice. If you need any of this. Really. Octagonal structs. I think these are sometimes useful. High-powered electronics. A huge solar array could be good. A fuel cell. It converts oxidizer and fuel into energy. Doesn't seem that good. Big rechargeable battery pack could be handy. Oh, nice. That's the Galaxy Map music. Yes, this is the extended Galaxy Map theme. Yeah, I love it. I don't think we need that. Composites. I haven't used these, I don't think. Nuclear propulsion. It's a nuclear fuel, but it runs on liquid fuel. Interesting. Is this good? Like, is this actually the most powerful? Or something? Great big tanks. Could be good. Big girders. What's down here? Communitron. Seismic accelerometer. Is that more science? Unmanned tech. Alright, so this actually gives you some mech-jeb automation. But I don't want to use those, really. QBE. Probe miniaturization. It's a very lightweight and small command unit. Cool. Although it has no inline internal reaction wheels. Cool. Okay. Scanning tech. Alright, these are good because these give you more science options, so we will get those. There are so many good things about BioWare games. I remember when Dragon Age Inquisition won Game of the Year, one of the devs got really emotional and started thanking everyone for being there with them in the journey over on the subreddit. It was very wholesome. That's nice. It's a shame Dragon Age Inquisition is crap. Alright, let's make Jeb rover autopilot. Specialized control. Better unmanned stuff seems good. What else do we need? Very heavy rocketry. We can't use that. Because you can't spend over 500 at once, unfortunately. That's pretty subjective. Yeah, I know. I know. But honestly, in terms of Dragon Age, I haven't really enjoyed a Dragon Age since 1. I think it's because I'm big into like heavy RPG elements and stuff. And I get to the second one, it's like you're telling me not only I don't get to pick my race, but you have a preset starting narrative and it's boring as all hell. Come on. It's just such a huge step down from 1. And then same in 3. Like in Dragon Age 1, and I realise this is, Cristo's podcast over Kerbal Space Program again, but hey ho. But in Dragon Age 1, you could pick a different origin, and there were like, what are there? 4 or 5 or something? 4 or 5 different ways you could begin the game, and there were different stories, all of which obviously led to you eventually becoming a Grey Warden. But there are 4 or 5 different stories of how it begins, and they're not small. They're detailed, and that kind of willingness to commit to replayability in the face of some players not missing out on it because you're only going to do 1 run was, I think, admirable. And they skipped that for the sake of kind of efficiency, and it's diminished for it. You haven't finished it. I'm loving it ever since you moved into Skyhold. The feel of rising in power. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I played it all the way through. I mean, I did a full playthrough and stuff, but yeah. The most important thing in a game for me is the plot. Well, I didn't like the plot in Inquisition much. First of all, because you just don't act like an Inquisition. It's no torture scene. It's no point. What's the point of an Inquisition? It's no torture scene. Giant solar array seems useful. I think I'm just going to sink research into all of these, basically. Get that. Heavy landing. This is for planes. At least we can agree on Mass Effect, though. Well, how would you rank the Mass Effect games? Because in terms of plot, I think we should get nuclear propulsion because I've never used it. Sure, large volume containment. What is this? Stuck together with super glue. Plot 1 or 3. I think it's 1 far and away because the sense of discovery in the story is unmatched in 1. Obviously, that's always going to be the case, pretty much. It'd be incredibly difficult to make level 3, the third one, have as much discovery. I know that 3 had the best gameplay. 1 had the best, 2 had the best characters. I think 1 had the best gameplay because I enjoy RPG elements over and above gunplay. So a lot of my enjoyment of the gameplay comes from the fact that I have larger stats and I've done this grind and stuff and put stats in the right places means I win, even if I'm bad at shooters, basically. And I enjoy that aspect of the gameplay. To the extent that, like, when you improve the gunplay, it doesn't matter that much to me. Really, what about having to delete all those guns you can get into Omnigel whenever you open your inventory? Yeah, that was a bit annoying. But I kind of liked that you could pick up guns. Like, I'd rather have poor infantry management, but the ability to actually, like, switch weapons and have all kinds of different weapons you could pick up and all kinds of different mods you could put on them, rather than 2 or 3 where you just have, like, a very small number of guns you can use and a very small number of modifications you can put on them. Like in Mass Effect 1, how many different modifications were there you could put on things? They're probably like 80, because there are like ranks 1 through 5 of each different modification, and there are like 6 modifications at least. And the freaking reloading. I hated the fact they added in reloading. Even if they did mock themselves in the very game that they were doing it in. But I don't understand why they added reloading. It's just silly. You have guns that never need to reload, and you decide to add in freaking reloading just so it's more like a traditional shooter. I don't get it. Alright. I should go and download Mass Effect. Act like for. I want to escape out of Kerbin. I feel like when you go past a certain number of gun mods, they stop being useful. The point is that they add the ability to customize it however you want. So, like, if you enter a new fight and you're like, okay, I was fighting Kroger and now I'm fighting Geth. I need some heavy anti-machine stuff. If you were a kind of RPG guy like me, I would then switch out all of my gun mods on all of my characters, which means I'm now doing like 100% more damage to machines than I was a second ago. I like that. You didn't use any mods for Mass Effect 1, you just wanted to get on with the gameplay. So that's fair enough. There are different types of people. I'm the kind of person that will, yeah, switch out all my gun mods when I find a new enemy type. But then I'm always playing, in that kind of game, I'm always playing on the hardest setting. Oh, well, in Mass Effect case, the second hardest setting. This is Crisis. How do we get to this? Yeah, let's go with Mass Effect 3 soundtrack. Build an orbital station around the Mun. We could do that. Conversations with the Curious, that was fun. You're not an RPG, I just strapped whatever I did the most damage and went through. Fair enough. The fun thing I liked doing in Mass Effect 1 was strapping on enough frictionless materials that you could have a machine gun but never overheat. And you could lay out ridiculous damage with that. I'm tempted to just give up on the the facade that I'm playing Kerbal. What was our next mission? Land on the Mun, right? We explore Minmus. Yeah, let's do a quick Minmus flyby. Seems good. We'll do it with a small small ship. We'll take a service bay that we won't recover. Right, because now we can take all this extra stuff. But yeah, we're going to do a weird looking ship again. Completely forgot about that. By the time I started New Game Plus, I just hold down the fire key without any recoil or overheating. Yeah, New Game Plus, you're overpowered a lot of the time. Or at least you're very powerful a lot of the time. The enemies get pretty massively buffed as well. I was so pleased in my first 100% run when I killed I killed the final enemy before the final boss, and the final boss doesn't give experience. And I killed the final enemy before the final boss, and like there was a respawn point and it only respawned 10, and I killed the 10th one and got my level up to like the highest level you could get in New Game. I was so pleased. We know this survives. Put a heat shield on it. Put a decoupler on it. What else should we listen to? Mass Effect 3 Leaving Earth piano tutorial. Why am I not surprised that comes up? Could go back to these. Okay. Alright, we need a payload. We're gonna need some fuel tanks. And the science is all gonna go in here. Do you want to take a Science Junior? We should really, shouldn't we? Since we're going to Minmus for the first time. I'm going to try and take enough fuel. Dragon Age 1 menu theme. Great idea. Dragon Age soundtracks. Dragon Age soundtracks. They're very good, these. Alright, let's put a bunch of power in here. How big are these? These ones, I mean? Yeah, they fill it. Okay. But these work well, just as something to put in like that, because they fit nicely. The other thing we could do, I've never considered doing this. You could put these inside. So when you so they can, there's no drag, and then when you extend them, they come out. Yeah, that's really good. I like that. Awesome. Okay, so we'll keep those retracted. First game of Dragon Age Origins. It was in mid-January, but it feels nostalgic. When was my first playthrough of Dragon Age Origins? God, that was like 6 years ago. Good times. Alright. Alright, we need some science in here. The thing about science is when you start doing science when you haven't got a, you know, a processing lab, it just feels like, why are we doing this? We could get so much more if we just had a processing lab. So it starts to feel like it's not worth it. But of course you can't take processing labs as easily. Nearly as cheaply. Do you kill your warden or go with the ritual? I went with the ritual. I don't see much downside. And it's more interesting from a future world perspective. Alright, let me talk about my main problem with Dragon Age Inquisition. And this seems like a really minor thing. Oh, you're just taking the 1x6. I'm worried they might clip through this. Are you worried about me spoiling something to do with dwarves in Dragon Age Inquisition? It's something that is only mentioned in a side dialogue with, what's his name? The dwarf companion. He's also in Dragon Age 2. Everyone else, if you are worried, consider this your spoiler warning. I'm afraid your option is only to go, because I'm very lazy and won't put an indate. But Gandalf doesn't mind. Good. What, an indate? A notification. But yeah, if you're worried about any spoilers, it's relatively minor. 1x6. Yeah, no, those are much better. They won't clip, you're right. Okay, so no one else is here by now. No, but like a couple of hundred people watch this on YouTube, so... For those, if you want a spoiler... Oh, here's what we'll do. Before I launch off, I'll have moved on from what could be considered spoilers of the Dragon Age thing. But, okay, so some backstory first. My kind of headcanon Dragon Age 1 playthrough, I'm a lowborn dwarf. And this is a wonderful thing about all the different ways you can start in Dragon Age. In Dragon Age 1, that is that you had all these kind of different... all these kinds of different starts, which give you different motivations going through the game. So my prime motivation, my first and foremost motivation going through Dragon Age Origins, was to guarantee the long-term safety of the dwarven people. And there are loads of different ways you can do that, some of which you can only do if you're a dwarf. So the various ways you can do that. First off, you can make sure the progressive leader becomes king of the dwarves. He starts recruiting from the lower classes into the armed forces and generally expands recruitment to give way better chances of fighting back the Darkspawn, right? To give you a very quick, for those of you listening on YouTube who are like, oh God, Cristo, for the love of God, shut up and play more Kerbal. I apologize, but I'm not going to, because I'm just, I'm rambling and I'm happy, so hopefully you like me enough that you don't mind that too much. If you're in it for the Kerbal, come next time. I'll be more awake and more in the mood to just do Kerbal. Anyway, for those of you that want to stick around, please do. Where was I? Yes, so you can massively increase recruitment. You can get a progressive guy in charge who's in favour of recruiting from the lower classes, which substantially increases obviously, the armed forces available to the dwarves. You can, although I don't in my canon run, make sure so that they have golem technology, which makes them stupendously more powerful in terms of the ability to create super soldiers, basically. I didn't do that particular one, but you could go that way. You can make it so that the Legion of the Dead, which is like the anti-Darkspawn brigade, the people that fight back the evil that dwarves are facing, basically. Let me just check. Spectrovariology into real science. Apparently would exposed to air. You can collect data, so I think we do bring one of these. Oh God. But yeah, so you can make the armed force that's mostly dedicated towards fighting off the Darkspawn get recognized as a noble house, which would dramatically increase recruitment and the respect everyone has for them, and therefore the support they would give them. You can actually that doesn't matter unless you're on the ground, does it? But it's really light. We might as well take it just so we can run one on the launch pad for Kerbin. You could just go around all Machiavelli and do everything that improves the world without caring for emotions. This is true. But, alright, this is, in Hi, Minmus. Can you spell Minmus? Like that, cool. And then the biggest thing you could do, when you save, if you save the, one of the kings, king or queen at the end of Dragon Age 1, you can ask them for a boon, special favour they'll do you and only you. And if you're a dwarf, you can ask for support for the dwarven people. So I got a progressive leader in charge. I got support for the dwarven people. I wiped out every Darkspawn in all of the areas of the tunnels that you can reach, which is a lot of them. I did all the DLC, which involves wiping out a Christ ton of Darkspawn. I ended the DLC in such a way to minimise the number of Darkspawn there would be permanently. What else? Yeah, I got the boon. I massively increased recruitment from the lower classes. I increased acceptance to the lower classes by being someone from the lower classes that saved the world. I'm still alive, and so I would, in my headcanon, go back and help the dwarves. And you vanish at the end of Dark Souls 1, so, sounds like you have something important to do. Maybe saving your entire people from extinction. And then in freaking Dragon Age Inquisition, that dwarf companion arsehole, who is generally quite nice, has some stupid offhand line when someone says, like, oh, those dwarves still hanging on underground. And he goes, yeah, they really need to move on and recognise that in the new era, they're doomed if they still try and live underground. The Darkspawn will just overwhelm them. They should all come above ground. No! Choices are supposed to matter. The entire the entire Dragon Age 1 story for my main character was going through and making sure the dwarves had absolutely every advantage they could plausibly have. And with that colossal advantage and my enduring support, they would obviously be able to drive back the Darkspawn at least enough to continue existing underground. But the freaking game wasn't having it, and so just arbitrarily decided that no, dwarves have to die because like we can't be bothered to render decent underground structures or some crap. And it really annoyed me if it wasn't very obvious that that is the case. So yeah, that really annoyed me. That was the worst part of Dragon Age Inquisition, was one offhand comment made by that dwarf that just solidified in my mind that all of the choices you made really didn't matter. You check through the choices that determine Dragon Age Inquisition 2's from file editing. Oh yeah? What did you find? That it's almost none. Not ones I cared about anyway. Do you think we should put it near the bottom? Like this? This just seems wrong. The only one relation to us is who became king, whether the one was a dwarf. Yeah. But there's no relation. You don't get... The dwarves barely feature. Despite being like, you know, another freaking civilization in the area. But they barely register in Inquisition. Which just annoyed me. They're a dying race that you can rally, basically. And then the game just neglects to notice that you rallied them. And it peeved me. It peeved me greatly. Anyway, there's my rant. It quite upset me, as you can probably tell. We need to make sure the center of mass at this point is where we have our RCS thrusters, as well as having some on... I'm going to put them off center so we can still put the... There's also some on the top. So we can put these where we want them. Should be like this. There we go. Advanced nose cones. I reckon that'll get us to Minmus probably. It's a very light payload we're taking, so. We want to jettison these ones first. So these ones feed here, and these ones feed here. But yeah, that really annoyed me. I was quite cross. But yeah, in my head, in terms of like Dragon Age lore and stuff, when I'm thinking about like, I wonder how this worked out and stuff, I don't consider anything apart from Dragon Age 1 canon, essentially, at this point. Just because it was all the storytelling past Dragon Age 1 was just so much worse. In my opinion, anyway. Checking through the save editor now. And it was so promising after they added in that whole, what was it called? Citadel or something? Fire these two straight away. Let's put some launch stability assists. There it is. You could put in like hundreds of decisions from the previous games. And none of them actually mattered. Barely any of them actually mattered. So that irked me. Okay, fire these. Fire these. Okay, fire that right at the beginning. These the wrong way around. Fire these, fire these. Drop that. Drop the parachute. Awesome. Let's go say hi to Minmus. Dragon Age Keep, that's right. If you have that one drawn, it'll become Mage of the Circle. That's right. And the anvil, yeah. Though I bet the anvil didn't matter nearly as much as it really should have. Seismic, atmospheric, cannot run experiment while stowed. Atmosphere analysis. Grab that. Okay, and close it up again. Collect all. RCS, launch. And before we accelerate too much, pop a quick atmosphere analysis, close it up again. Great. We're very wide when we're using these smaller engines, aren't we? But we might not have enough fuel. We'll see. Let's get a gravity turn early. Ah, no fins. No freaking fins. Gordon was a human noble throughout the whole game. I was basically role-playing as Aragon. Cool. RCS is already fighting now. Ready to drop. Blew up, but actually somehow wasn't a problem. That's pretty good. Right, let's pop this open. Drop atmospheric? No, going too fast, I guess. Didn't bring a freaking mech jeb component. Oh well. We'll survive. Now we're in the thick, the upper atmosphere. It's less thick. We'll do a bit more of a turn. Didn't tell any of the components about your past. I assumed they didn't know I cleared the time to however. Romancing in the Dragon Age stuff. And the companion characters, connecting with them, felt way worse than in Mass Effect to me. Way, way worse. Really disappointed when random peasants would go up to me and like, Sir Kuslan, blah blah blah, and Atom Morrigan would just ignore them like it's old news. I don't think I've ever played the human. No, I played the human Overpath once. I've done 2 mage runs, 1 dwarf run, 1 human run. I've done the elf ones. Why is it that sword and board companions in RPGs are always kind of good, wholesome chaps? Like Aragon and... Who's the guy in Pillars of Eternity? But yeah, the sword and board companions always just seem to be good chaps. Should I be at hypoapsis to push parry faster? I don't remember. I thought you said you should do it more when you're lower. I think maybe I should be up here. Do. We might not have the fuel to make it to Minmus. I'm getting quite tired. It might be obvious. Considering all my just random rambling about old pet peeves from... Yeah, we should definitely have been at Apoapsis to spread this. There we go, stable orbit. Alright, so to get to Minmus, problem is I don't know, you know, with the moon it's like 45 degrees. Excuse me, this thing's still here? But your Perry's way into the atmosphere. Why haven't you burnt up? It'll burn up eventually. Let's try like here. There we go. Minmus intersect. But only if we really burn like that. Because we also need to change plane. Okay. Set Minmus as a target. It should help. Yeah, that's a new thing for this particular one, isn't it? Set as target. Oh. Well, that makes things a lot easier. We just go here. And, well, that isn't going quite how I expected. Oh, that's a money counter. Does that just give you a direction of burn? Oh no, that's an escape. Descending node, ascending node. Gotta make it so the green nodes are at 0 degrees. How? Descending node, ascending node. I don't know what these are. Am I meant to be burning like this? Yes. 0.1, minus 0.1. Pretty freaking close is how I would call that. 8-second burn, no problem. Walk me to it, please. Add a mover on the green label and push the triangle. That's exactly what I thought. Thank you for the confirmation, Gandalf. Okay, so these are just to get our kind of the angle of our orbit synced up, and then it should be much easier to burn out to it. That makes sense. You think I should be burning at the green node? That's okay. Gotta live a little. Make a couple of mistakes in this life. That's how you learn. Right, let's go down here. 8-second burn. Starting in about 4 seconds. Let's try and get on this dot. Oh, but it's right on the normal, so we can just align normal. Burn. And then turn off SAS. Because I don't want it drifting without my instruction. Cut it. Okay. Take that off. SAS back on. Okay. Getting really low on fuel, but it's orbiting that takes the energy. So now it can't be here burning in that direction because it will have moved. So let's try. How about if we just walk from an apopsis? Like, hope to hit it over here. Doesn't seem the best idea, does it? Oh, it gives you a CPA. That's cool. Sorry, CPA is closest point of approach. It's a term. Oh, I can also move it around, can't I? Whoa, what the heck? That's not what I meant to do. CPA is a term you hear a lot in sailing terms when you're talking about other vessels. Try not to hit them. You don't want their CPA to be too low. Because obviously, you know, closer to the CPA, the closer they are to you. And you don't want them near you. You want them nice and far away so you don't hit them. Okay, about there looks right. Obviously, we want to thrust as little as possible. Sure. Add a maneuver on the green label and push the triangle. But the triangle won't actually get us out there, will it? Maneuver on the green label. Which one then? The descending node? Okay, 2 angles. Planetary angle, ejection angle. Yep, I think those make sense. Just drag the maneuver node around. That's what I was trying to do. Okay, let's try. Put a maneuver on here. There's some money encounter, but that's not what we're after. We're after the more elusive. There it is. Good time to say elusive, eh? Alright, now let's see if we can get there by less thrust. So it looks like there's an encounter over there that could be had for much less thrust. The encounter a bit further around that could be had maybe for even less. There looks pretty optimal. I feel like I'm having to overburn it. 36 seconds. That's doable. That's doable, but I'd rather it were lower. Yes, from over there we're going to escape. Oh, that's not what I wanted. This is finicky. Controlling these nodes. I don't want to intersect it over there. I want to intersect it as close to ending up on another Kerbin orbit as possible, so we don't have to use much fuel getting home. There we go. 36 seconds. Well, it's not that bad, is it? Let's try a 36-second burn. I think we have a 36-second burn. Use LCS to fine-tune the encounter. Oh. What's the target dot? Is that just directly towards it, or is that direction you should be heading in order to get an encounter? If the latter, that seems a little bit easy, doesn't it? Okay, so we turn off SES. And then we're going to try and fine-tune this encounter. Or maybe I should still have SES on stability assist. I'm not good at this. As in case it's not abundantly clear. Useful for a rendezvous, which we'll be doing for a while. Cool. I don't understand this fine-tuning. I'll deal with it next time. I'm just going to do the old-fashioned way. Okay, there we go. It's pretty spot on to me. Okay. Burn at 17 seconds. Ish. How fast I feel going down? 7 per second. Ooh. It's gonna be a close one on fuel, Jeb. It's gonna be. It's not gonna be close. You're gonna fail, I think. But you got monopropellant, so you could probably decay your orbit if you had to. Ooh. There's an encounter. Hell yeah. Let's get a slightly more convincing one. Okay. I think you're doomed though, Jeb, mate. Because I'm not sure you're ever going to be able to come back. But we'll see. I'm amazed that thing hasn't decayed yet. But here we come. Minmus encounter. Fine-tuning is easy. Once you complete the burn, just zoom in the encounter from the map. Yeah. Next time. Next time. Alright, here we are. Crew report, temperature scan, atmospheric plan, mystery goo, material study. Keep all this lovely, juicy data. And crew report. Yeah, keep that and do a quick EVA. EVA report. Sweet. Do change it if we get a new encounter before we get to Perry. Doesn't look like we're gonna. Fair enough. And at Perry. Oh no, we're already leaving the encounter, so we can just let ourselves leave the encounter, get to APO, decrease our Perry abscess. Right? If you just fly by, you should be able to go straight back to Kerbin. Yes, that's what I was just remembering. Okay. Cool. Oh right, I should be oh no, because I can't overstore stuff in here. Well, I can overstore collect all. I can overstore crew reports and EVA reports. In fact, I can overstore everything as long as I have him go fetch it. But he can't go far. So let's not risk that in case I accidentally have him fall off. Turn SES on. Okay, so now we just we go to APO and we decrease our Perry to below 40 and then we go home. It's nearly midnight. Yeesh, that went by quickly. Yeah, I know. We're gonna finish this mission, then I'm gonna head off to bed, I think. Let's just walk me to APO. God, it's 10 days away. Bad luck, Jeb, mate. You're gonna be sitting in space for a while. Are you connected to anything? No. That's right, I didn't put any communication stuff on him, did he? So he's just spent 13 days in perfect silence with his thoughts. In a rather uncomfortable position for all that time, really. Although he's living the time of his life, look at him. The Kerbin's expressions is such a nice addition to this game. Just makes the whole thing feel cheerful. Alright, align retrograde. And tap at that Perry abscess. It's increasing? Huh. I lost it. It went too low. Okay. Back to prograde. That reminds me of Michael Collins. He was the pilot of the CM in Apollo 11. So he didn't go down to the moon. CM being command module. Oh, right. That'd be quite... I hate that you can't use fine-tuning thrust when you're in the map. It's so dumb. The tiniest bit more. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Dump the rest. Line retro. Turn off SAS, RCS. Take me in. Another 15 days. Hope you brought some reading material. Behind the moon he had no comms. Not only the furthest away, but also the loneliest. Yeah, it's quite something. Except, of course, you know, it's all fate. NASA, little known fact, actually did their moon landing in Kerbal Space Program with some really good graphics mods. Okay. So we can but hope, basically, that we don't burn up on this rather rapid reapproach. Well, didn't you tell me something about, like, for some clever reason, some clever science reason, your speed as you enter is always the same? False. NASA hired SpaceX to fake the moon landing. Oh, did they? Years before SpaceX existed. Did you watch Robinaz play this? Granted to use his mods, but he's great at it. No, I didn't. I've only... I'm sorry. We went straight past our Perry. Yeah, excuse me. It appears... Sorry, Jeb. You're going to have to make another trip. He's good indeed. Cool. Oh, sorry. Hey, Red Sponge. Sorry, your name came up in the same colour as Gandalf, who's been the only person in chat for a while, so I didn't spot your arrival. Hello. How you doing? You set your parry to 140 for some reason. I didn't. I waited till it went exactly to 40,000. But I guess I'll try fine-tuning with my mono. Ah, it's okay. Thank you. So what did we decide it was to reduce? Just go forward. Is it K? H? Oh, you can't do this from this screen either. This is why MechJeb is like actually needed. Because there's no way from this screen to tell... Which way should I be doing it? Yes, this way. How much impact you're having on your parry. Because you can't see your parry from this screen, which is just moronic. 2 more puffs should do it. 1 more. 1 more. 46. 42. Close enough. Stay retrograde. Take me in, please. You're just drunk on stream deprivation. I'm really not. I'm pretty well, thanks, Red. You can use RCS in the map view. Just enable a nav ball. Can you use small thrusts with this as well? Like small, normal throttle thrusts. That'd be a groundbreaking revelation for me if that was the case. I'd be very happy about it. You can! Oh, I'm so mad. That's very good to know. Well, I apologize. You did not know this. No! I was seriously, this is why I thought MechJeb was like actually a needed mod. How did you function without thrusting in the map view? I knew you could thrust full on, but can you thrust with like shift and control with little thrusts is what I need. And, yeah, cute sex jokes and whatever. But yeah, I know I can go full throttle and cut throttle. Can I do smaller ones though? Alright, take me in. Going pretty fast here. But I believe slowing down serves no function. I believe that is what I've been it's what I've been told. You can do everything the same way. Once you turn on the nav ball, Why would you restrict that to once someone turned on the nav ball? That seems so arbitrary. Needless. It's a lot of flame. We got the right angle of approach though. We're not going much faster than we used to. G-force within acceptable means. Just decelerating. Oh, we're decelerating pretty freaking quickly actually. I don't know, dumb design choice. Yeah. Strange. Because you could have like a disable the nav ball means disable all your navigational control. And that, I'd be okay with that. It would kind of make sense. But why on earth would it just disable only one area of your navigational control? Strange. Very strange. Oh, it's later than you once assumed. No, let's leave now. Dear Red, thanks for joining us, however briefly. Alright, just walk me back over here, please. Alright. Do. If you had TAC life support, Jeb would be so screwed. Yes, I bet he would. So what do you do for really long manned missions? He literally spent 64 days in that tiny command capsule. Yeah, but look at him, he's having a great time. How high do I have to get before I can walk faster than this freaking 4 limit? Darn arbitrary 4 speed limit that still lets you crash into the planet if you're going higher than that. Do. Yeah, same problem as modern missions. That seems boring. I mean, I know it's difficult for something that's trying to be really realistic and stuff, but I mean, that would mean you couldn't go to Mars, or whatever Mars is. If you experience the same life support issues as real life, you couldn't go to Eve, or Dres, or whichever Mars is. Duna Mars? You can't send people to Mars easily with the life support wide unless you include a mothership filled with food. And how do you block out the radiation? They should all die of cancer on the way there. I don't actually know if it's cancer that would get them. Isn't there a problem with radiation shielding on long missions? There's no radiation, oh, okay. Sorry, when you say there's no radiation, you mean IRL or in the mod? I was of the impression that if you had like a year-long mission in space without sufficient shielding, you'd end up with problems from radiation. At least one is still alive. Yeah, but they were only in space for what? Were they even there for a day? How long were the Apollo astronauts in space? Oh, sorry, when you say the Apollo astronauts, I thought you meant the first space landing guys. Year-long would probably cause problems. Yeah, wasn't the estimated... I mean, obviously we haven't got the rocket, so it's all 7 days, right? 7 days. But yeah, nowhere near like a 2-year trip. If you went to Mars. You did mean the first line. Okay, good. Glad I didn't misinterpret you. Why can't I... Okay, oh, you have to decrease it down to 1 to increase it again. What a clever system. Sorry, I'm becoming bitter in my tiredness. Buzz Aldrin's the last one. Yes, I didn't know that, I think. Have you seen that footage of him punching like someone who doesn't believe in the moon landing in the face? It was pretty satisfying. But wrong. Wrong, but quite funny to watch. Yeah, you did see it. Michael Collins also alive. Collins was 87 years old. Wow. Buzz Lightyear's 88. I keep feeling like one of these days we're going to run out of ablator. Ablator, whatever. You know what? We should just have some freaking Divinity soundtrack because it's so freaking good. This is the calm Kerbin's. Oh, the autistic dwarven kid with weird magical powers. Yeah, he's pretty cool. There we go. Recover. Nice. That's Sandal, right? Or is he someone else? I'm not trying to insult him by calling him an autist, by the way. That just seems like a good description of his mental state. Another 200 science from that. Nice. And a nice pile of cash. And 3 XP gains. Did you hear Hawk's monologue? Yes. I did. Let's play this one. Enchantment Stew, yeah. Right. So we've been to Minmus. That flag on the moon is the only active one. Explore Minmus. Nice stable orbit. Anything we can do at the same time to moon? Science stage from around Kerbin. Yeah, it's trivial. Science stage from the surface of Minmus. Well, landing on Minmus is the next logical step, and I'm told it's easy. Map 15 asteroids endangering Kerbin. Jesus Christ. Inclination of greater than 9. This gives us 3 million. We must have broken some breakpoint on reputation or something. The Space Center has only been in operation for 4 years. We're doing pretty well for 4 years. Oh god, asteroids. Yeah. I wonder if there's like an incredibly small chance that one will just hit the Space Center. That's some fast progress. Crazy fast. But now I'm concerned. Why isn't this thing decaying? Jesus, I love this soundtrack. Do you know the update Ed Asteroids was coded out by NASA? That's awesome. To try and how is this thing not burning up? To try and encourage people to like NASA by reminding them that like asteroids matter and are a thing. And hence, like, you should fund NASA because they're our best chance of having any kind of response. Actually brought one to Kerbin and it just bounced off the surface. Fair enough. It wasn't burnt up because it was being physics warped. I see. Okay. So now it should burn up. Now I'm in control. Good. Let's clear up this particular piece of space debris, shall we? What song should we listen to it burn up to? Dancing with the Source. The cello version. One of the cool things about Divinity is like you can pick your character's theme music. So some of the main themes play in different instruments depending on which you pick, which is pretty cool. He has a mastery over the Kraken. I don't know what you're on about. This is another Let's Player, right? He's really good at this game. I like how the batteries are so many different physics objects. They're creating this crazy glow behind them. We could have recovered this, it looks like, pretty easily. This thing takes some freaking heat, this service bay. He's the god of Kerbal Space Program. More like a demon, but we worship him anyway. Look at that freaking inferno going on because of all those batteries. But yeah, Divinity's a great game. Hey Seedler, how you doing? We're just burning up this piece of space junk, and now I'm quitting, I'm afraid. I'm off to bed. Don't burn up in the atmosphere. There's no Kerbins in this. This is just junk. What's with people joining right at the end? Time zones? Maybe. It's not going to burn up by the look of it. Oh, actually, we're not in the thickest part yet. But usually if you're going to burn up, it's about here. In my very limited experience. You're just checking the Twitch channels. Well, I'm flattered you checked mine. Should we open the bay doors? Oh, that really mucked with it, didn't it? Close them again. We can really muck with it with these things. Yeah, we should have stuck a couple of drogues on this thing. We could have brought it back, saved some cash. I can't remember how much this thing cost. Not that much though. Yeah, turn the lights on, why not? New type of wings! Hell yeah. We can fly! Yep, see? Didn't burn up. So we could have just shoved a couple of chutes in here. Maybe in the service bay even. Because the chutes lines seem to just be able to clip through anything fine. Anything can. Press F12. Took a screenshot and turned on aerodynamic forces. So if I open the wings, yeah. So the reds are drag, I guess. God, this game is heavy on the totally unexplained information, isn't it? Shows how I was affecting it. So yeah, if we close this, doesn't make a huge amount of difference now. It seemed like it did when we first opened them up. But yeah, obviously this is just going to be a rather expensive crater. Useful for planes. Yeah. Makes sense. Well, I think we should open our wings. Sure, open the doors on the science bay as well. Well, on that day it crashed down to Earth. Kerbin, whatever. Having made us a stupendous amount of science. Costing the lives of 2 of our scientists. Even though I hate planes, I still respect them. Fair enough. Goodbye, Science Lab. Thank you for your help. Much appreciated. We're going to do some slight environmental damage here as we hurtle into the ground at 150 meters a second. Probably 135 by the time we hit. Pray it bounces. It ain't bouncing. It definitely ain't bouncing. Oh my god, it bounced. It's going to blow up on the second hit though. 40's too fast. Yeah. Darn good timing, Epic. You should suggest it might bounce right then. Alright, well, you know, rest in pieces that particular piece. Do you know about the golden record on Voyager? Yes, it's pretty cool, isn't it? You should start to play Kerbal Space Program, especially as it goes to your degree. So close, I know. Alright, well, if we learned anything this episode, it's that you should play Divinity and Dragon Age Origins, and you shouldn't play Dragon Age Inquisition. You should play all the Mass Effects. And science things bounce. There you go. Save it up so I don't forget once I stop streaming. It's about, say, 4, I think. Awesome. Kerbals are bouncing in ships. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for watching, everybody. You've been on Twitch. Thanks for your help as always, Gandalf. Always a pleasure. See you later, guys.